Hello everyone, this is day 55 of Polity Daily Drill. Let's begin. First question. Consider the following statements. Statement 1. The Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019, that is the CAA 2019, allows the Home Ministry to authorize DCs, district collectors in certain Indian states to issue citizenship certificates to applicants from 6 minority communities originating from Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan. And number 2, Section 16 of the Citizenship Act of 1955 permits the central government to delegate the powers granted under any provision of the Act, that is the Citizenship Act of 1955, to designated officers or authorities. Now see, the MHA, that is the Ministry of Home Affairs, impart the DCs of a lot of districts like in Gujarat, Mehsana and Anand to grant citizenship certificates to members of Hindu, Sikh, Parsi, Christian, Buddhist and Jain communities from, of course, the 3 countries of Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. Now, this is not the first time the DMs or collectors have been delegated such powers by the MHA. In fact, similar such orders were issued in 2016, 2018, and of course later on in 2021 also. Right, so this is not the first time. In fact, this was done empowering DMs in several districts of say Gujarat, Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, Chhattisgarh, etc. to grant citizenship certificates to migrants from these 6 communities who entered India on a valid document, right? So citizenship is a central subject, and from time to time MHA delegates state officials to exercise such powers, and the notification is not related to the CAA 2019, right? So statement 1 is wrong. 1 is wrong, we have the answer already, and what's the answer? Statement 1 is incorrect. This means 2 has to be correct. D is the right answer, and yes, of course, 2 is absolutely correct. Section 16 of the Act says that the central government may, by order, direct any power or that any power which is conferred on it by the provisions of this law, other than those of Section 10 and Section 18, they shall in such circumstances and under such conditions as the order may specify be exercisable by any officer or any authority that the government wants to. So the government can delegate the power to officers or authorities as they may choose. 2 is correct, but 1 is incorrect. D is the right answer. Next question. The right to freedom under Article 19 of the Constitution is available only to citizens, while the right to life and personal liberty under Article 21 is available to all persons. Absolutely correct. There are certain fundamental rights meant only for citizens. We know very well. 15, 16, 19, 29 and 30. These 5 fundamental rights are available only to Indian citizens. Other rights meant for all. So 19 only for citizens, 21 for all. Article 19 protects the freedom to move within the country, while Article 21 protects the right to leave the country and the right to return. Yes, of course, Article 19 gives us 6 different types of rights, one of which is the right to move freely throughout the territory of India. And under Article 21, Supreme Court has said in a very famous Menka Gandhi case of 1978 that you have a right to travel abroad. So 2 is also correct. Number 3, during a national emergency, both Article 19 and 21 are automatically suspended. This is wrong. Article 19, yes, does get automatically suspended only if the emergency has been proclaimed on the grounds of war or external aggression, right? Article 21 anyway is not suspended. Even under Article 359, where the center via a presidential order can suspend the right to move to court to claim those rights, even then Article 20 and 21, the right to move to court to claim these 2 rights is never suspended. 3 is wrong. How many statements are correct? B. Only 2 are correct. Moving on to question number 3. Which legal doctrine states that existing laws that conflict with any provision of Part 3 of the Constitution become void only from the commencement of the Constitution. This is the classic case of doctrine of eclipse. Laws enacted before the Constitution that contradict fundamental rights become dormant but can be revived if the conflicting fundamental right is modified. Always remember, it flows from Article 13, Clause 1 of the Constitution. Okay, so that's the case. A is the right answer. What are other doctrines mentioned here? Like the doctrine of basic structure, something we already know. What is this? This simply means that there are certain basic features which cannot be amended even by the provisions provided under Article 368 called the basic structure given to us in the Keshwanand Bharati case of 1973. What is doctrine of pith and substance? See, this is applied when the legislative powers are challenged. This doctrine determines the true nature of the law. If the core subject of the law falls within one of the legislative lists, incidental overlaps into other lists do not render it invalid. That's what's the doctrine of pith and substance. And what's doctrine of severability? See, when a provision of a statute, a law, violates constitutional limitations, but it is separable from the rest, only the offending provision is void, not the entire statute. Let's say there is a law which contains 10 different sections. One such section violates some constitutional provision. So we'll not cancel the entire law. We'll selectively cancel just this law. Just that small part will be declared void. The law continues to work in the country. Doctrine of severability. Anyway, right answer is A, doctrine of eclipse. Moving on to the next question. Consider the following statements. Right to be produced before a magistrate within 24 hours of his arrest. Right to be released on bail if arrested. Which of the rights mentioned above are enshrined in Article 22 of the Constitution? So, right to be produced before a magistrate within 24 hours. Yes, of course, there are three rights given to us via Article 22. Number one, right to be informed. The reason, the ground for arrest. Number two, right to some kind of legal representation. That means lawyer. And number three, right to be taken to court within 24 hours. One is correct. Right to be released on bail if arrested. See, a right to be released on bail if arrested is not a fundamental right enshrined in Article 22. It is a statutory right that flows from CRPC, Section 50. Section not important, but nevertheless, Section 50, subsection 2 provides for this, where a police officer arrests without warrant any person other than a person accused of a non-bailable offence. He shall inform the person arrested that he is entitled to be released on bail and that he may arrange for sureties on his behalf. Right? So 2 is wrong. It is not a fundamental right. It's a statutory right. So 1 is right, 2 is wrong. Which of the rights above are enshrined? A, 1 only. And the last question for today. With reference to Overseas Citizen of India card holder, OCI card holder, I hope you are aware that since 2015 the concepts of PIO and OCI have been merged into one called OCI card holder. So he shall be entitled to such rights as the Parliament may specify by law. See, this statement partially would have been correct, but since they have made it Parliament by law, that is the wrong aspect. Why? The central government, it's the government of India. There is no need for a law made by Parliament. So the central government may, on an application made in the behalf by the OCI card holder, registered OCI card holder, can provide for this, right? And of course, the OCI card holder is entitled to such rights as the central government may specify, not the Parliament, the government of India. So 1 is wrong. Number 2, he shall be eligible for appointment to public services and posts in connection with the affairs of the Union or of any state as the central government may specify. Yes, Union or of any state except for the appointment in such services and posts as the central government may specify. This is correct. And number 3, he shall be entitled to registration as a voter. How can this be correct? OCIs are not Indian citizens. Only Indian citizens get the right to vote. NRIs, yes. OCIs, no. So this is wrong. How many statements are correct? A. Only one statement is correct. This brings us to an end of our discussion for today. Let's meet tomorrow. Till then, that's all for me. Jai Hind.